Hello, I'm Richard Murphy, and I want to talk this Bank Holiday Monday about what really matters. And actually, that's a really important question to ask on a bank holiday. Bank holidays were created to make sure that people had some time off from work when paid holiday was very rare and the number of days that anybody was allowed to be off work in a year was very small, and there were 6 days in the working week. So bank holidays were an essential breathing space to consider what was important in life, whether it was your family, relaxing or whatever else. But it's also just a moment to reflect on what is really important. And I'm doing this because, well, today is quite a significant day for me. A member of my family is having a birthday, and it's an important one, and I'm going to be out celebrating. But it also makes me ask the question of what does matter to younger people, because it is a younger person's birthday that we're celebrating. And I've noticed a recent survey which came out from the OECD, that's the Organisation for Economic Cooperation and Development, based in Paris, which has 34 member states and is called the Rich Countries Club because, well, literally all the rich countries in the world are members and all the poorer countries are not. Now, this therefore is an organisation that quite literally gets worried about first world issues. And in a recent survey by them, they looked at the well-being of young people. And of the countries that they surveyed, young people in the UK came bottom. In other words, they had the greatest degree of concern about their own well-being. Only 64% of young people in the UK were really happy with their well-being, meaning that 36% weren't. If we look at places like Germany and France, over 80% of young people were happy with their situation. And in fact, right across the board, 80% figures was commonplace. We were way out of line with the rest of Europe, the developed world, on this issue. So why are we producing young people who are so worried about themselves and their future? Well, apparently, our young people, unlike most young people, worry about the risk of failing. Their belief is that they are basically set up to fail. They believe that the education system does that. They have more exams than most people. Those exams mark them on a pass-fail rating system, in effect. The pressure upon them from schoolwork to achieve those expectations that society creates for them are much higher than other countries. And we as a society, like the USA, have adopted a very harsh market-based view of life, which always focuses upon success or failure, profit or loss, survival or not. And that we have, unfortunately, transmitted to our young people. And my point, my reflection, if you like, at the time when I'm considering the future of young people as part of a celebration, is that what matters is not what they achieve at school. What matters is not whether they get into the right university or not. What matters is not whether they get the right job at 18 or not. What matters is their ability to negotiate the life that is ahead of them. And all the skills that they need to do that are the skills that we don't teach in school, the things that we don't mark, the things that don't count, and yet which matter. And I believe that what we've done as a society is count all the irrelevant things in the sense that they don't prove worth, whilst counting all the things that prove the ability to pass an exam, which isn't that important at the end of the day. But we've created a very great many stressed young people as a result. What matters is having a sense of your own worth. Exams don't provide that to most people. What matters is being cared about, but we have a community, a government, a society that is actually always talking about the scroungers, the left behind, as if there are people who don't matter, when in fact everyone does. We create a society where we're reducing the social safety net so that young people feel they could literally be left out. And they worry about it. Why wouldn't they worry about it? That didn't exist when I was a young person. And that's, in a sense, part of this reflection. I never doubted that whatever happened to me, somehow there would be a job, there would be a safety net, there would be an ongoing opportunity to learn if things changed. And I don't think young people can believe in that there will always be anymore. It isn't there. I always believed there would be somewhere to live. And again, I don't think all young people have that confidence, and for good reason. So we are not counting what matters anymore. And we're imposing upon young people a criteria for assessment that is simply false. What matters is that they believe that they can manage their futures. And that is not what we're teaching them. So we're getting it wrong. And we need to give them a new and fresh sense of confidence that in a world that is going to change enormously during their lifetimes, inevitably going to change more than it probably has during my lifetime, that they can manage that process of change, which nothing they've done whilst young people seems to have prepared them for. What matters is making them resilient so that we as a society are resilient, so that we as a planet can be resilient enough to survive. And we haven't got that priority, and we need to create it. I'm Richard Murphy. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe to this video series on YouTube if you're interested. Also look for us on Facebook. I am on Twitter @Richard J. Murphy. And at the same time, look at my blog, Tax Research UK, where you can find much more on these themes. And I'll see you again soon.